Machine Head are a metal band from Oakland, California. They were started in 1991. Their frontman, Rob Flynn, is the only one of the original band that are left, but they haven't had a big turnover of musicians. They've been credited as being pioneering in metal, part of the new wave of American metal, which is a wave I've not heard of before. They were popular in Europe first before they really made it in America, and they've released their 10th album in 2022. Hi, my name's Dan. If you know this album, or if you object or agree with my review, then please do leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you think. And there's a big red button down there that has the word subscribe on it. If you click on that, you can join me on my amazing journey through the best albums in the world ever. Join me, subscribe. There, that's advertising over with. Right, this was the band's first album, and it's described as being groove metal, but I am not a metalhead. I don't object to metal on principle or anything, but I don't necessarily understand the fine distinctions between the many, many different forms of metal that there seem to be these days. So let's try and do some description. It's, well, I think of it as fairly standard thrashy metal sound. It's got kind of slightly detuned guitars, and they're very overdriven and crunchy. There's a lot of kind of sounds. There's occasional guitar solos in here. And sometimes they use some different sounds, but certainly the start of the album is very kind of solidly this, what I would think of as being metal these days. It may be that they were ahead of the curve with this. What was this, 1991, something like that? I would say that the last few tracks on the album become more varied as you get along. It's fairly technical stuff, so there's very fast chord changes at times. There's some interesting rhythms going on. The vocals are a cross between singing and growling. It's not full-on death metal, but it's not kind of melodic metal singing either, so it's quite kind of crunchy singing. And as I was listening to it the first time, I was picking up on, can't hear the lyrics particularly well. I was picking up on some of the lyrics and I was starting to wonder what it was that they were singing about. This is a slight philosophical aside here. I am a great believer, like many people are, in freedom of speech, but I think that there are responsibilities for those who have a voice, and the larger your voice, the bigger your responsibility is, I think. So whether this is an authority figure who encourages people to drink bleach to counteract viruses, a rapper who's glorifying gang culture, an R&B band encouraging teenage girls to use boys and dump them to their own ends, or a little-known album reviewer on YouTube. I think everybody has a responsibility, if they're saying things publicly, to not say things that are stupid or are going to mislead people or are dangerous or hurtful, or, there's many, many things that you could say that would be really a bad idea. So with this in mind, I do sometimes think that there are some areas of music where some of the messages that are given are not particularly helpful. And I wondered what this band's message would be like. So what I did was, instead of trying to strain and listen to the words too much, is I looked them all up. I did Google searches for the lyrics, and I have to come to the conclusion that they're not happy. There are not many people who are in the metal field who have got lyrics that are particularly happy. That's okay. Most of it seems to be social commentary. It's definitely anti-violence, it's anti-hate, It's got an anti-drug song in there, and it's not, as I had wondered, particularly anti-Christian. It is anti-people who use religion for profiting from, and that I can get behind. There are some discussion of mental issues with anger, and particularly with feelings of violence, but not actually espousing the acting out of violence or any aggression towards anybody in particular. There are some people who are singled out for some criticism, and I don't necessarily know who they are or understand the references, but that's fine. The second track, Old, confused me a bit. I didn't really know what it was about, but it was curious. So actually, after I'd looked up the lyrics, I thought, yeah, okay, I'm all right with this. I can get behind with this band and what they're saying. They've got criticisms of society, and that's fine. I think that these things are perfectly acceptable. So I didn't have a problem with the lyrics. There are occasional sweary lyrics in there. That is metal, this is not unusual. Musically, I think it's pretty heavy. It probably only is for metalheads. It mostly didn't excite me much, but the last 4 tracks I did definitely enjoy more. So, yeah, got kind of mixed view, but not bad. That's it from me for now.